In the video that you're watching right now, I'm going to be showing you how I use the Silverbullet strategy to completely dominate and destroy the London session. Okay, and once you've watched this video all the way until the end, you're going to be doing the exact same thing just like I did. So make sure you watch it until the end, right? So we're going to get straight into it. You mark out the highs and the lows of Asian session, okay? I'm not going to say the time or whatever. You can read it. You just need to mark out the highs and the lows of Asian session. As you can see, the blue area is all Asian session because of the indicator that I'm actually currently using, and I'm going to be giving you the indicator name. So the indicator is actually called Asian session range, right? So that's the indicator name right there. Also, what we're going to be doing now is marking out the highest points and the lowest points of Asian sessions. As you can see, that's the highs and this is the lows right here. And once we actually do this, what we need to do next becomes very, very simple, right? We need to identify which part of price gets mitigated or liquidated first, right? So if the highs get swept first or the lows get swept first. And now I'm going to be playing price forward, and we're going to be seeing exactly where it actually goes up to. So if I zoom in, you can see that it's completely swept the highs, right? Once it sweeps the highs, we know exactly what we need to do now. We need to actually mark this out as our liquidity sweep first. And once we do get the liquidity sweep, what we need to do from here on out becomes very, very simple. We just need to find a breakage of structure where fractional highs / fractional lows have completely been swept, and then we can reinforce our market structure shift with an engulfing candlestick if it's possible. Okay, so let me just break that down in this example, right? So what we're going to be looking for now is a market structure shift towards the downside, right? So we're looking for a movement which is actually replicates this. So this is actually the movement that we will be looking for, right? As you can see right there, price went down, created a low, and then it created a higher low, sorry, and then it went down and broke that lower high, right? So as you can see right here, this would be our market structure shift, and this is exactly what we're looking for in this example. So I'll play price forward. As you can see right there, we just got a very, very great candle right there. Okay, you can see price actually swept this candle right there, and I'm going to be showing you exactly why you should actually mark out this as your market structure shift. It's very, very simple. It's only because of this one rule of the fractional lows, right? So you have one candle right there, you have another candle, and you have the third candle, right? As long as the candle in the middle is the lowest one and no others are actually below it, this makes this the fractional low, right? Which is why I actually mark this out as our fractional low, right? So that will be actually our fractional low, and this is why we mark this as our market structure shift, because you can see that the candle before it and the candle after it did not go above it, which makes this actually our main candle. So all we've got to do from here on out is actually mark out our fair value gap, which would be from here to here, and it's a very, very good fair value gap, and that's all we needed, right? So as soon as we actually mark out this fair value gap, let me just write it down so you guys can see it. Fair value gap. As soon as you have your fair value gap dialed in, all you've got to do from here on out is actually place your position, right? So you can see from here, reinforce our market structure shift with an engulfing candlestick if possible, and then we identify a fair value gap. And now we've done that, all we've got to do is overlap it with a market structure shift for high probability, and then we just execute the trade, and that's all that's left to do, right? So I'm going to be showing you exactly where you can put your stop loss and place your take profit. So what you need to do is first enter your position, placing your stop loss just a few pips above the highlighted area, and then you place your take profit as a 1 to 4 or 1 to 3 or 1 to whatever. Okay, I'm going to place it at 1 to 4.5, just right here. And now all I'm going to be doing is actually running the trade, and you're going to see exactly how it runs. But just before I run this trade, if you're actually serious about trading and you're serious about getting funded and passing your first ever prop firm account and getting a payout, then I have the perfect solution for you, because you never pay for my service, only you pay after you get the payout, okay? Because we completely pass your phase 1 and pass your phase 2, and we also manage your account for 4 months after that. You can see right here, Julian went from $4,000 a month to $31,000 just by working with us. This is all possible with MSPass. We also cover 25% of your account costs, because we only get paid when you get paid. When you get the payout, we get the payout too, right? So make sure you click the first link in the description. There's only 5 spots left. Click the first link and join below, right? But anyway, all I'm going to be doing is completing this. You can see price is nearly hitting our stop loss, but it just didn't hit it because we obviously put it a few pips up. That's why we usually do this. And then after that, all I'm going to be doing is playing price forward more, and you can see how it's completely went down and smashed our take profit, right? So this is exactly the trade structure that you want to be seeing every single day. We could have easily farmed off a 1 to 9 trade. Okay, this could have been such a good trade and such more profits, right? I'm going to show you on a fundamental level how the strategy actually works, right? So you can see you're going to be waiting for agent session to do whatever it wants, higher highs, higher lows. But once it gets to your specific trading time, this is what you need to do. You need to mark out the highs, and you need to mark out the lows, right? And if you're using my indicator, then you exactly would know when agent session is. So this is the highs right here. You just mark it out, and that's the lows. Okay, so let's imagine that price actually took out the lows in this instance instead of the highs, like this. Okay, what we need to do now is mark this out as our liquidity sweep. And once we do get a liquidity sweep, all we've got to do from here on out is wait for the breakage of structure, right? We need to wait for price to actually give us a movement where it breaks on itself and it takes out a fractional high or a fractional low. As you can see, it took out a fractional high. And once it's actually done that, all we've got to do is mark this out as our market structure shift. Once we do get the market structure shift, what we've got to do from here on out is just place our rectagonal tool and actually mark out our fair value gap, which would be FVG. FVG right there. And once we do get that FVG, we just actually execute straight away. We place our buy limit, and you would place your take profit at Asian sessions highs or a 1 to 3, and you'd place your stop loss just below the highlighted area. You can see it's a very healthy 1 to 4 risk to reward ratio. And now all you've got to do is actually move this forward, and you're going to wait, and price will actually go down, hit your FVG maybe once, maybe twice, and then it will completely go up and smash your take profit, right? So this is exactly how the strategy works. It works on various pairs. It works on NAS 100, Euro USD, GBP USD, gold, and S&P 500, right? So you need to use this as fast as possible because this will completely change your life, right? So that's all you need to do from here on out. Anyway, make sure you like and subscribe and join my Telegram link down below, because there's only 5 spots left and there's only 2 spots of people who will get the service, which is pay after you get a payout. Anyway, I'm going to see you in the next video, and that's going to be the end of it. Take care.